Hello, my lovely as well. Today I'm joined by Christine C. Clark again, and we're going to be talking about something that I find very exciting, and that is, and why have I put earrings in when I'm wearing headphones? I don't know because they're getting on
Lovely.
my nerves now. But anyway, we've got a few people in. Just say hello to a few people. Matrix on PC. Bonjour, Missy
Mm.
Moon, Nikki. So hello to everyone. We'll see if we get a few more people in. So Christine, you just introduce yourself again so people know who you are.
I'm Christine Clark of the United States of America, and I've done some research on crystals and also some ancient cultures and cultures that use crystals throughout history. So I would be talking about that, and I have a couple to show and talk about their healing qualities. People believe that, and the
Mm.
energy they carry, and so forth and so on.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. Because I got into crystals just for the jewelry because I love. People know I love
Me
jewelry. And I've
too.
got boxes of it to just pick randomly one and talk about it. But
Hmm.
um, what I started doing with my interest in crystals, I started looking back in history of burial rites because I've always been fascinated by how ancient man approached the afterlife and burial rites.
Hmm.
And when you look at it, one thing became clear: there's certain stones and gems that ancient man, no matter which part of the world you look at, was obsessed by, and they always put it in the graves with them. And it's like
Hmm.
for some reason they thought that was needed. And it's like jade. You're getting China, of course, and you're getting the Americas. You'll get this obsession with jade. They love jade
Oh yes.
in the burials. Now, the only reason we don't see that in English burials, let's we say, or a lot of European burials, is because there was no access to jade then until the
Mm.
trade routes opened. But I'm pretty sure if they'd been able to get hold of jade, they would have been putting it in their graves. So I got interested in that and looking into why and what the association was. But the thing is, it's not, we can only guess at what they thought these stones would do for them. We can only really hazard a guess at it because it's not always clear. And I'll go into the three ones after we've been talking for a while. I'll go into the three ones I say that are a must to be buried with, or if you get cremated, have them put in with your ashes because for some reason, ancient man for millennia has been obsessed with these stones, putting them with the dead. So, how did you get into crystals and stones and things like that?
Just the beauty of them, and also not only for wearing, but also vases and bowls, and just the facets of the crystals are absolutely beautiful. And
Yeah,
I find it interesting that many people believe they carry energy. And this crystal right here actually it's a naked crystal.
yeah,
Yeah, and so my daughter and I bought one of these each. I'm not getting a good picture. There we go. And I was always told, they gather energy from the sun. So we
yeah.
tried it one day and we placed them in the sun for like 12 hours. And when I picked them back up, they actually felt heavier after laying out in the sun, which I found fascinating, just something I noticed.
Now,
But
just to explain, Christine, what a naked or a raw crystal or stone means, that means that nothing's been done to it, hasn't been polished up, or it hasn't
yeah,
been processed in any way. How you see it is how it's come. It might have been a bit polished, but
slightly,
it
yeah.
hasn't had any color treatment or heat treatment done to it. And just to say to Paris, right, Paris, I don't know what's happening here. I've made you a mod. I have made you a mod, Paris, and I made Jack Jackson mod, but I'm not seeing the little thing, hammer by your name, the little spanner thing. So I don't know what's going on. I've had a hell of a time getting mods. For some reason, I can't get them on my StreamYard for some reason. I've set it up. I set it up in Thingo. So can you see a spanner, Paris? Because I can't see you with a spanner. Am I supposed to see it? So just also point that out. I made two people mods and Paris has come on and nothing. there's nothing to tell me she's a mod, so I'll have to keep my eye on the comments to make sure nothing bad comes through. Hiya, Crystal Alice. There's the well, here's the name, an appropriate name, Crystal Alice. So yeah, just as point that out, that means that nuns, because you can heat treat a lot of it. You have to be careful, just to warn people. You have to be oh, you are a mod, good. You have to be careful when buying crystals and buying stones, because they can be heat treated to change the color, and they can be dyed. And when that happens, a lot of people who believe in the power of crystals reckon if you start dyeing crystals, heating them isn't so bad, because you're just literally speeding up what the earth would do to a crystal. So that's why they'll heat them up, and you can change it from one crystal to another by doing that, make it a completely different crystal. But that's a natural process, more or less, heating it up. But when they start injecting dyes into them, that's when people who believe in the power of crystals, they don't like it, to a Christine. They say, no, you shouldn't touch those ones. So you have to be careful. Get it from a reputable dealer. And the most infamous one, most famous one, is Moldavite. Now, I've only got the tiny, because Moldavite is very expensive. You won't even see that. That's Moldavite. Now, what that is, that's from glass from a meteorite that smashed into the earth.
Fascinating.
Well, that is the one, right? Oh, I was thought, we'll have to get it. Do you know what? 90 times out of 100, it's going to be fake if you just buy it off the internet, no, like Amazon or something like that. So you have to go to a reputable dealer to get it. But apparently what you're supposed to do is hold it in your hand, and it's they call it a crystal, but it isn't. It's a glass. It's like Libyan glass. It's the result of a meteor impact millions of years ago, and it immediately turned the sand or whatever was green. But you're supposed to hold it. Lots of people say you hold it, and it's the most powerful, what they just term a crystal to make it convenient. Because, well, people say that they suddenly get this tingling sensation, but you have to be careful, because a lot of people say as well that they can't touch it the minute they bought it, and it's expensive because it's rare now. But they say that they couldn't use it. They only touched it the once, and they couldn't cope with it. It was that powerful. But I got that and thought, oh, here we are, I'll get it now. No effect at all on me. I didn't feel anything powerful, nothing, not even as much as a twitch. So it didn't work for me, but it doesn't work for everyone else. So do you want to add a name, Christine?
Yeah, I was just noticing the types of crystals. Clear quartz. I just held one of those up, and those are very full of energy, good energy, and they're good for healing properties. And then there's jasper, which is a nurturing stone.
Jasper, yeah.
And some of these I might not pronounce them right. Obsidian, you mentioned that, didn't you?
Obsidian, yeah. Obsidian. That's a grounded stone. I think I've got some here. Have you got any?
Oh, that's cool. It is believed to help process emotions and experiences and aid to letting go.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Now, I remember.
Let's see what it looks like. Oh, right.
Now, what that is, have I got? Now, I hope I've got the right one, because tourmaline and obsidian are completely difficult. And I'm reckoning, is that the one with the gold class? Because I've got one. I'm going to double check on this, because what is, Christine? I've got that many things, that jewelry. But obsidian, tourmaline, just going to check which one this is. Look identical. You can't tell them apart.
A protective stone, and shield against physical and emotional negativity, and get rid of emotional blockages. I find that fascinating.
Yeah, here we go. Obsidian. Now, yeah, I've got this. The obsidian I've got here, because you have to be careful, because tourmaline. Obsidian is from it's volcanic glass. In other words, when a volcano erupts, and it's violent when it erupts, it turns immediately to glass, and that's what that is. Now, I'll say something about that in a minute. And there's tourmaline as well. Now, tourmaline is different. It looks exactly the same tourmaline, because people get mixed up with tourmaline. But tourmaline, oh, and I wish I'd brought it up. It's downstairs. I've got a tourmaline thing, ring, which is beautiful because tourmaline can come like that, jet black, or it can come in the most beautiful melon tourmaline. If you Google melon tourmaline, you'll see it. It's the most beautiful. It's gorgeous, and I've got one where it's pinks and yellows, and it's stunning,
beautiful.
and you can see right through it. But I'll say one thing about obsidian, right, and tourmaline when it's black. Now those are, I should say, the protective stones. Now, with protective stones, because you'll get black kyanite as well. That's another one. Anything black, don't forget you can group crystals and stones into colors and what they'll do. Black stones are protection stones. They're also repellent stones, but they can be repellent or accepting stones. In other words, they can get negativity and throw it away from you. Or what they can do is they can get negativity and slowly dissipate it. Now, obsidian is one of those that it will gently get rid of and protect you and get rid of all negativity. Tourmaline, if it's black tourmaline, that will literally, that's like woof, like that. It's a punch. It's punching it away from you. And people will get tourmaline and get in the shape of a black. And I'm talking about black tourmaline. Be careful which one you get. Will be in daggers. They'll get it in arrowhead shape, and put them around the doors, because that's like saying, keep it away. But anything black, and it's grounding as well. If your head's in the clouds, because people think spirituality, and this is what I've said before, people think spirituality is all, having to be above your head and in the clouds and in the spiritual realm. No, spirituality starts with being grounded. In other words, here in your body, and black stones ground you. They're in you. If you believe in the chakras, which I'm not into the chakras, I think it's just something that has got popular, but I'm not into the chakras. It's just a Hindi belief system. But it's the root chakra. In other words, it gets right down to the root chakra and grounds you down. So remember that black is a stone that will protect you and repel negativity. So that's what, but be careful about ever being buried with it. That's my personal view, because it is a grounding stone. It keeps it, because it's meant to keep you in your body. In other words, it's grounding. It gets you here and now. It stops you flying off. And remember that, people, when you hear people going on, oh, I'm spiritual, and they're like in this little daze. That's totally the opposite of spirituality. Actually, spirituality is being grounded in the now, and that just helps you get grounded. So I thought I'd explain that one away.
That was so fascinating. Another one that I love, I hold dear to my heart, is the amethyst, used for healing, purifying, and enhancing willpower. And it's so gorgeous.
Yeah, it's beautiful, especially when you get it, which I haven't brought up with me. When you get it in the geodes, the geodes, and it's absolutely gorgeous. But if it got me, God blimey, I brought loads up with me, too much.
Now I know my little girl, we bought a geode once, and we got to take it home and break it open on the patio, and all these beautiful crystals poured out of it. It was beautiful, and you put it in a little sack, and some of them are quite big pieces. And my son carries one in his wallet that I gave him when he was a little boy, because that's his birthstone.
Wow.
It has it in his wallet. Yeah.
Well, I have amethyst, and I don't think I brought it up with me amethyst, but people don't know it's purple. Yeah. It's a purple stone amethyst, and it's beautiful. I have it in necklaces as well. But what I find is amethyst, when you're feeling stressed out, all that I do is I get amethyst. Say this is fluorite. Say that it was amethyst. I just do that and hold it, and it immediately relaxes me. But I think out of one of the top stones, if not the top one, popularity must be amethyst. Yeah, people adore it. It's a beautiful stone, absolute beautiful stone.
And polished, it's just so lovely, and it shines so gorgeous. And also in its raw form, it's just lovely in and of itself. It's just very drawing.
Oh God! But nowhere I'd love to live, Christine, or visit. No Tucson in Arizona. Oh, if you're into crystals and stuff like that, I mean, they have geodes that are like
Yeah.
room-sized geodes. They're
Aren't
huge,
they
aren't they?
beautiful? Yeah,
Oh,
I've seen
stunning.
those.
And they have some of the
Yeah.
rarest stones going. Oh, that would be a sweet shop to me, that going through there. But don't
Yeah.
doubt that they're as big as people, the geodes. It's like, my
Exactly. Yeah,
God.
fascinating. I know. Wow, what a treat to the eye. Another a stone I found interesting is the bloodstone. Said
Oh,
to
yeah.
improve circulation and provide support to blood-related issues.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Oh, there's someone. Now, Maud has put on a good one. Shungite. My
Oh,
Shungite bracelet broke months ago and I'm having to restring it. Shungite's another one to be careful of, people, when you're buying it. Get it from a reputable dealer because, again, like Moldavite, there's lots of fakes out there. Now, it's a form of coal, but it's billions of years old. I mean, it's
mhm.
practically as old as the earth itself. Shungite. It's from one part of Russia, so it's only found in one part of the world. And what it was, the Russians found that this river where this Shungite was, you secured them with illnesses and things like that, and you could drink the water right from the pond without having to boil it or anything. And even
Mm,
today, Shungite is used to purify water.
that's
But
fascinating.
tell you what, Maud, if you want to find out whether it's genuine Shungite, or anyone wants to find out it's genuine Shungite, get a torch, the one with the batteries in it, you know, the old type of torches with your batteries in. Take the top off that's keeping the batteries in and put the Shungite on to the battery and press it down, and it should make the torch light up. So that's how you know it's genuine
Right, right.
Shungite.
And it runs watches. Quartz does. Quartz runs a
Yeah.
watch.
But that's how if you want to
Yeah.
find out, because I've got Shungite, and again, it's not one, it doesn't work for me, Shungite. I've got actually a few pieces of Shungite. You have the elite Shungite, and you have the ordinary Shungite. The elite ones, the more expensive stuff. But it's a good thing if you want to buy something that's going to get more and more and more and more expensive. Go for Shungite, because, of course, it's only one place on Earth and it's getting very popular. But this thing, it's supposed to also, it does EMFs, electrical magnetic fields. It's people have it, by their computers, or they'll have a little pyramid usually, or a sphere, and they think that's going to get rid of these EMF, electrical magnetic fields, and cure you of it. Take that with a pinch of salt. It does repel. Let's put it this way: if you I've done this. My internet connection, the router, I've got Shungite and put it in front of my router, and it's cut my internet off straight away. So it will
Oh,
do. But if you wanted to protect you in your house, you'd have to have Shungite walls and ceilings and
wow.
floors. You'd have to
Wow.
surround yourself by it. So don't buy it thinking that's going to protect you from EMF. So you'd have to be surrounded in it. It will only protect you as much as the size of it, basically. That's all it will do. So, and again, if it was stopping any EMFs getting to you, if you just had a little pyramid in your room of it, your television, nothing would work. It would go off because it stops it happening. But that's Shungite. But it's always check that you're getting from a reputable dealer, because lots of fakes again going around as Shungite.
Yeah, it says definitely go to reputable dealers
Yeah.
and that can authenticate them, and that's absolutely true. Have you seen those? They're Himalayan salt rock pink.
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
I had one of those. The thing I found interesting is supposed to purify the
Yeah.
air and things in the air. I would have it on next to my bed at night, and in the morning there'd be a pool of water around
Yeah.
it.
Drove.
Very
That's why. Very dangerous.
Yeah.
Very dangerous. As a
Yeah,
light.
because you're actually plugging it in, but I just found it why does it do that? I just don't understand.
Because it's salt, it absorbs water from the air, and that's why I
Oh,
can't see. I had a Himalayan salt lamp, and I thought it was odd because, so wait a minute, salt absorbs water. So if you're living in a damp area, or it's damp at that time of year, it's going to start absorbing the water. Well, unless you have the thing on every day, it's not going to be dry. And that's why I stopped it, because I saw it, like you, water was coming out because it was absorbing the water. And I thought, wait a minute, let's just put this together. Away we are, Paris will be getting all excited now. I'm talking about electrics. Paris loves their electrics. I thought electrics, water, not a good mix.
Not good.
So I tell people, be careful. You can get ones for tea lights and stuff like that. Use them. You're safer for candles and stuff. But I'd avoid using electrics, and because it's just not where it's dangerous.
Huge. Yeah, definitely.
But here's one from Squat Master. Now, he's mentioned one of my favourites. And one of the three which I say you must be buried with. You must be buried with. Is amber even classed as stone, as it's a prehistoric sap? No, it's not. You're right. It's not a stone. It's not a crystal. It's a sap. It's tree resin that millions of years ago hardened. Now that's my amber.
Gorgeous.
That is a beautiful. I love this one. Absolutely. And I forgot. I thought I had an amber ring on. But that, I love it. You can't even see it there. I can see it's looking very yellow. But when you see that, it's beautiful. Luminous orange. Gorgeous. Now that is one of the three, Christine, that I say to be buried with, because ancient man was obsessed with putting it in graves with people. Now, what they think, and we can only guess, especially Nordic people loved it. And the Russians adored it, ancient Russians, and all that area where you could find it, the Baltics and all this, because that's Baltic amber, the highest one you can get. Now, what they think was, why they buried them with it, is because it was considered to be paying your way when you get over there. And this is what I want to point out, this idea now about people have heard me going on about Disneyland Christianity or Disneyland belief systems where we die and ping, we're in paradise or Valhalla or whatever you think you're going to. Well, ancient man didn't think that. They saw it as a journey. In other words, when you died, it was a journey. You didn't just appear in paradise. You had to get there and journey there. So what they do, they bury people with different things to keep them going. And so they could get there. And they reckon amber was one of the ones that when they got over there, if they came up against a difficult situation, literally, say that you're standing between me and getting through a gateway. Say that, Christian, you're some spirit thing that's guarding the gate. And I'm like, oh, I need to bribe you now to get through there. So I go, here we are, here's some amber. So you grab hold of it and say, go on, go through. And that's one of the first ones. So ancient man loved amber, but I'd say always have amber. My little pooch was buried with, I buried him with all the things that he needed. He had amber with him. And it's just like, I think it's a lovely thing, but definitely amber, one of the three. So thanks for asking that, Squat Master. But you're right, it's not a stone. It's, but when you look at it, Christine, it's like the sun shining.
It's so gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. You can get other ones. You can get ones that are like yellow, which are beautiful as well. But the yellow ones can be very, very pricey when they're perfect. But yeah, there's, and I thought, do you want to mention anything else? By the way, amber, let's tell you this, very good to wear it for health reasons as well. And actually, as you wear it, I can't remember the name of what it's called. Let's see, amber, but it actually puts this thing in your skin. That's the amber wearing benefits. I can't remember what it's called, but it's, let's see, what are the health benefits of amber? Anti-stress, anti-inflammatory. Now, if you notice, people also with babies who are teething get amber. To get amber teething rings, and you get a lot of and if you see a lot of people, they buy amber for the babies as well. You see the babies with amber necklaces, very popular with babies and people like that. Now, also it's an antitoxic, can help with anemia and heart disease as well. But of course, I'm not talking about it will cure heart disease. but it does actually react with your body, and over time, it starts changing color as you wear it. And that's how you can tell. Again, be careful where you have to keep on saying this. Be careful where you get amber, because if you pick that up now, Christine, and I put it in your hand, you'd say that's plastic. It's got no weight. It feels like plastic. So how do you know it's not plastic? You have to get it from an authorized seller that has a contract with the Baltics to be able to get hold of it and to buy it. But that's going to shoot through the roof, the price of that, if this war carries on. So anything else you want to mention, Christine?
There's 3 other stones. I want to say what I found and what you know, and that's interesting. So rose quartz, sometimes referred to as a stone of love, believed to encourage love and trust. Rose quartz, lovely.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then the moonstone, said to prompt feelings of inner strength and growth.
Moonstone. Now, I've got silver moonstone and peach moonstone, I'm sure I have. Let's see. Moonstone is a beautiful one. Now, this is a rare form of moonstone. That's silver moonstone. And if you can see it,
beautiful.
Can you see the little lights in it? It's beautiful.
Yes.
And it does look like little moons. And so
that's
it.
And this so pretty.
This is the where's it? The peach one. Now that's the peach one, and you can see the little. If it's a moving, little lights in it. It has the little lights. That's peach moonstone. So
I love that.
Moonstone is absolutely beautiful. But again, it's one of those ones. Don't charge her up in the sun. The name tells you if you're going to charge her up in the full moon. And also about moonstone is, this is strange. It's actually related to I can't say the word now. Labradorite and labradorite, the Australian one, popular in Australia. Now, funny enough, I love moonstone, but I can't stand labradorite. I can't, and it's such a popular stone that it's one of the top ones. For some reason, when I see it, Christine, I'm repulsed by it. I can't stand it. Yeah, it's related to moonstone. But yeah, I can't stand labradorite. I can't even say it. I don't like it that much. But it's a beautiful stone. But for some reason and this is nothing you've got to get people. If
agitate you.
Yeah. If you're repulsed by a stone, keep away from it.
Oh, I see.
Because that's telling you it's not for you. Get away from it. Because that's the whole point of crystals. Sometimes you have to, and be careful what you're mixing as well. You can have if you mix them all the wrong way. But carry on, Christine, and just sort of point that out.
Yeah, it's interesting. So ruby's believed to support sexuality and sensuality.
Ruby, another one that was popular with burials was ruby. People think diamonds, don't they? But diamonds are actually quite a modern trend. Diamonds were always considered, the Chinese used to use diamonds to carve jade, then throw the diamond away. They thought it was worthless. It was Louis the 14th of France made diamonds popular. But diamonds were considered nothing until Louis the 14th made them popular. Yeah, they were considered a nothing stone. But now look at it. But rubies, beautiful. Now, I'll just find some things about rubies because I don't know off the top of my head. But don't think people, oh my God, I've got to spend out thousands of pounds on a ruby. You can actually get raw rubies, which you can pick up quite cheap, which are just as good as a top grade one, as a jewelry one. Let's see, ruby. Benefits.
Restore vitality and energy levels, promote sexuality, sensuality, support intellectual pursuits, and bring self-awareness and recognition of truth. I like that.
Now, what you've got, again, a red stone ruby. Anything red as well, think of the blood, think of passion. Do you see where I'm going? That's why when you get something like this, rose quartz, you can get the two of them in conjunction more or less to work with each other. Rose quartz is all love and peace and harmony and gentle and love, where ruby is more, if you want the passion kick, what you do, you'd get ruby and wear it with rose quartz. So the rose quartz would bring the love, where the ruby is You know,
Brings
it's
the
more
passion.
passion and all that. But here we are, the healing properties.
That works.
Here we are, every part of the human body, blood circulation, remember I said, and the liver, and to do with the blood cleansing and stuff like that. So any red gems or crystals, it's the blood, and also it's passion. Whereas another one, here we are, related to the two of them. Now this one, this is actually a form of strawberry quartz, but it's called galaxy quartz, and you can't see it so much. Let's say I can't even see myself. Let's see.
Yeah, I can see it very well.
But if you actually see that in real life, it's like the translucent, and you can see these little dots. That's why it's called galaxy quartz. But strawberry quartz is the same as that. And what that does, of course, you've got the red, and you've got the rose quartz color as well. So you've got the two there combined. So you don't have to have your ruby and your rose quartz. You could just get strawberry quartz, and that's combining the two of them. Oh, where's it? Do you know, just to tell you, Paris, you know, if you see this thing here, VUM today, block it. Get rid of it. Anything that comes up like that. Are you all right, Christina? Is your mic gone off?
Oh, let me see. Can you hear me?
It's very faint.
I know, mine is too. Let me check here what's going on. Hold on one moment.
Okie dokie. Yeah, selenite is a very good one. I've got some selenite here. Oh, God, and it's heavy. That's selenite. Now, what people do use selenite for is that's a light, actually. You can put a bulb in it. But unlike Himalayan salt, it doesn't go off. But that's selenite. Now, selenite, what's good for is you can put, let's say, put your jewelry on it, and it will cleanse your jewelry. But be careful with getting the jewelry, because one, it's very fragile. It's not really good. You'll get bracelets in it. It's not a tough stone. And I'll tell you how it's not a tough stone. If it gets wet, or say that you're put in water, it would dissolve in 24 hours to nothing. But it won't absorb water out of the atmosphere. But selenite is a very, very good one for cleansing. And what people do, they'll buy selenite, either wands or palm stones, and hold it. And it sort of cleanses all the negativity out here. But it's very good for cleansing other crystals as well. Because you have to be careful how you cleanse your crystals, people. Always read up on it. Because it's easy to say, oh, just do it in the moon or do it in the sun. It depends what the crystal is. It may not want to be cleansed by the sun, or it may not want to be cleansed by the moon. I mean, if you get something like amber, that's obviously, that needs the sun doing it. Putting that on the moon is going to absolutely have no effect on it at all. So you have to be careful. But selenite, yeah, that's a very good one for cleansing. But I say, make sure you don't put it outside, because it will dissolve if you put it outside and it gets wet. So just sort of say that. So welcome back, Christine. I can hear you loud and clear now.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
You're sounding a little lower to me as well.
Let's see. Can you hear me if I get the mic closer?
I can hear you.
Good.
It's just a little lower than it was.
I can hear you clear. It's all right.
Okay, as long as you can hear me, I'm listening.
Yeah.
Let's see. Another fascinating thing too is crystals and gemstones have played a part in all religions, and they are mentioned throughout the Bible, the Quran, and many other religious texts. On the origin of birthstones is the breastplate of Aaron, or the high priest's blessed breastplate, as mentioned in the book of Exodus and the Quran.
Yeah.
Fourth heaven is composed of carbuncle, which is garnet. The kulpa tree, which represents an offering to the gods in Hindu, is said to be entirely of precious stone, and a Buddhist text from the 7th century describes a diamond throne situated near the tree of knowledge. I find that fascinating.
Oh, yeah. Now, for people that don't know,
on this throne, 1,000 Kalpa Buddhas repose.
Just
The
saying that
Kalpa
that's gone.
Sutra.
Yeah.
Say again.
I was just saying that's gone, as if people know. That's another red one. Gone, it was very popular with ancient man.
Oh
Very,
yeah,
very
I've seen
popular.
those.
Yeah.
And let's okay. On this throne on this throne, 1,000 Kalpa Buddhas repose. The Kalpa Sutra in how do you say that? Jainism speaks
Jainism.
of, these are hard words. Hari Emesi, the divine commander of the foot truths, who seized 14 precious stones, cleansed them of their lesser qualities, and retained only their finest essence to aid its transformation. Very interesting.
Well, got a question here from Sharon. How many years have crystals been used for? Well, it's not with ancient man, it wasn't so much crystals that they were obsessed by. It was stones or precious stones that we called. Crystals are more of a modern, though ancient man did have access to crystals, because if you read about Atlantis was supposed to have had a, if you believe in Atlantis, supposed to have had a dome made out of crystals, pure crystals. So ancient man was aware of crystals at that time and did use them. But when you talk about burial sites and stuff like that, it tends to be the stones to go for more than the crystals. I mean, they do have crystals buried with them, but they didn't see them in the same concept we do. And one thing I was saying to you, Christine, before we started, you'll get people saying, oh, this is what they mean, that's what they mean. You have to be careful, because what I find is that a lot of the time in modern times, when they're talking about crystals, they'll talk about them and you think, well, they're saying that about every crystal. They seem to say, oh, it does this for you, it does that for you. You just, basically, the best thing to do with the crystal is pick it up and hold it and see what you feel like when you're doing it. And another clue as well, and this is the thing that you have to adapt to yourself. Where do you wear a bracelet? Which hand do you wear a bracelet on if you've got your crystalline bracelet for? Well, give an idea if it is. The receiving hand, if you want to be cured of something, or you want to be given energy, or you want to be given peace or whatever, it's your left hand. You put them on there. Oh, you put your rings on the left hand. If it's you want something to go away from you, like negativity, like tourmaline, obsidian, and stuff like that, you actually use your right hand. That's the hand that sends everything away. But if you're left-handed, reverse that right over. They won't tell you that, but reverse it. So literally, the hand you write with is the one you want something to go away from you. Say that you're suffering from grief or something and you want the grief to go away, you do that. If it's something that you want, like love or compassion or whatever, you put it on your left. But I say, left-handed people switch that
that's
around.
very interesting.
Yeah, you switch it around. And be careful how you...
Like your wedding ring.
Oh, you're going already, Matrix? God, you didn't stay long, did you? Oh, I thought you were... Oh, sorry, I thought you were saying good night then. So, yeah, that's an interesting one. Now, the one, this is the one. That is essential to get buried with, if you can get it. Nice.
It says here, during the Renaissance in Europe, from the 11th century to the Renaissance, a number of medical and treatment appeared. The virtues of precious and semi-precious stones in the treatment of certain ailments. Typically used alongside herbal remedies as well. It's fascinating.
Oh, it's slow.
Someone had asked how long they've been in use. That's gorgeous. What is that?
That's jade.
Oh yeah,
now,
that's jade.
This is the one I've got loads of jade, and that's me doggy one, the jade one.
Oh, lovely.
Now that jade, that's the one. That's the one. If you're going to be buried with nothing else, be buried with that.
So gorgeous.
Because that is the one that ancient man was obsessed with. In areas that they could get it. Remember, China, the Americas, all those places. They all saw jade as being. This is the one. It's called Stone of Heaven. And
so beautiful. You have to keep it moist. I've seen, like, if you go to the jewelry stores, where they have jade in cases. They have a little small glass of water in the
Oh, I
glass
didn't
case.
know that.
Yeah,
I know
because
you
it
have.
has to have moisture.
I know you have to do that with pearls because pearls will,
I'm going
you know,
off
to
the
keep the
room.
luster. You have to hold pearls every so often.
Here we go.
Never just leave pearls in a box. You have to hold them to get the moisture in them. But yeah, jade, ancient man. Well, you know by the Chinese and you know by the Incas and the Maya and all this, they were obsessed with it. And that was, but we know why they were obsessed with it, as it's called, and that one's beautiful. That's got carvings on it of happiness, good luck, and good fortune. But that's the stone of heaven. In other words, if you believe in this journey to the afterlife, when you get over there, that's the one that if you find any gods over there, you go, woohoo! I want a privileged cloud. I want my cloud to be a penthouse cloud. So can I have a penthouse cloud when I get over there? So you
I
give
think
them
you're
your
getting
jade, and
one.
that's it. You get there, and it's supposed to protect the body as well as it's in its resting place. So that's another thing that it does as well. But jade is well, I love jade, and it's one of the most expensive when you get it. I mean, that's not top grade jade. Top grade gem jadeite can cost millions of
Mm-hmm.
pounds. Absolutely very expensive. So, anything else, Christine?
It's this website I went onto. The brief history of crystals and healing, but also how crystals and cultures.
Yeah, Christine, your mic's gone again. You're very,
Oh,
very.
I can't hear you very well either. I'm not sure what to do
I
about
can
it.
hear you now. I can hear you now. But you know when you do that, your voice goes off. You
Oh,
can't
okay.
hear you.
You're very low too. It's hard for me to hear. So, okay, I'm being. Let's, let's, I'm getting close to the camera because I can't hear it that well. But I was mentioning about the Renaissance time healing qualities and the use of them with different herbs for
Mm.
healing qualities, along with uh, precious stones and yeah, semi-precious stones. That was the last thing that I mentioned about
But yet, now let's see. What do I want to talk about? Oh yeah, another one. This another essential one to get buried with, which is one of my favorites, and that is Carnelian, which comes in various shades. You can get it green, orange, yellow,
that.
beautiful colors. Now, what it is with that's multi jade. That's the one where it's mixed green and orange, and that's the red type. Now, what it is with Carnelian, again, that's another one that ancient man was fascinated by, and it's more widespread than being able to get jade. But if they could get hold of Carnelian, they always put Carnelian in the graves. Now, we're not sure, and we can only guess at it. That was considered the train ticket. That's the only way I can describe it. If you imagine that when you get over there, you've got to travel to your destination. How do you get there? Well, the each way you think of it, Jade was considered to be the train ticket to get over there. In other words, it would get you where you need to be safely without any trouble. But I'll get you what Canadian can do for you. Canadian is usually, again, it's usually the same thing to go on about peace and love. Let's see, Canadian. Uses Canadian.
It's hard for me to hear you if you're asking me something.
Yeah, you're going off all the time when you're talking. It's also no like when it's well, Carnelian is a very strong stone for the sacral chakra. If you believe in the chakras, and it's used to enhance passion in relationships. Carnelian is also a great stone for fertility. That's why crystal therapy with carnelian is so often used for protection from physical harm. and it's also to prevent accidents. Now, you see this preventing accidents and all that. That's another reason when you get over there, it's to get away. It's one of these protection stones as well. It's to get you over where you need to be. And that's Carnelian. So we've done the three so far. We've done Jade, we've done Carnelian, and we've done Amber. That's the three essentials, I'd say, to be buried with, the three basic ones. And a third one, which if you want to, I put it in with Bonzo when I buried them, is Pirelli bluestone. Now, what Pirelli bluestone is, of course, if you're in Britain, what's our big monument? Stonehenge. And they discovered that in Stonehenge, it wasn't the big sarsen stones, those big lintels you see making the big, huge stones. It wasn't them that were the important ones to the people who built it. It was the little stones, the blue stones, they call them, inside us that look nothing. They were the ones that they were fascinated by and were chipping away with. And when they found burials in Stonehenge, they found chippings of these blue stones. Well, we can more or less work out that what it was a healing centre. And these blue stones from Preseli, which is in Wales, you'll only find it in one part of the world, and it's Preseli in Wales. And that's why they say it was that important that they took them to Salisbury Hill to get there. And it's a hell of a task, that. But this question, I'll go into in a minute about the question marks. Did they actually carry them there or not? But I'd say if you're British, but again, the Europeans, we know people came from miles and miles and miles and miles to get from abroad to get to Stonehenge. So it was considered a vital healing centre. And we know that it wasn't a religious centre. We know that much because there's nothing on the stones to depict any gods or anything. So it looks like it was basically, when you look, what they found out about Stonehenge is, we found out it's the winter solstice. It was more designed for than the summer solstice. It was the winter they adored. Wasn't built by Druids. We know that. Stonehenge was around before any Druid even existed.
Okay.
And also this idea that it was some kind of spiritual centre, some kind of astronomical centre, very doubtful. All that it marked was the winter solstice, basically, and somewhat. And it was obvious, Christine, because they always said it was the summer solstice. But as someone said, and it's true, if you walk into a church, let's say, and the altar's in front of you, you walk through the door, there's the altar. You don't suddenly turn 180 degrees to face the door again. And if it was for the summer solstice, people would have been walking in, then turning around, which didn't make sense. And then they discovered, no, what it was the summer solstice. But also, they found out as well from it was an African man who was asked about Stonehenge, and he said straight away, he said it's a monument to the dead. He said it's ancient. Ancients were it's your forefathers worshipping them and all that. He said that's what it is. He said it's a mark to respect the ancestors. He said it's a monument to the dead. And he said you'll find nearby somewhere there was a wooden one. And the wooden one represents the living, the land of the living. And he said they go from the wooden one in a procession. He said we had things like this in Africa. He said to the stone one. And he said that's what it marked, just a place to worship the dead, basically, and ask them for help. Well, that's exactly what they found by the River Avon. They found evidence that there was a wooden circle there. So he was right. And they used to do this procession from the wooden one to the stone one. And when you think of it, right, this is another thing where ancient man all over the world has the same sort of tradition generally. What do we use to mark graves? stone headstones, stone markers. Why? Because something in the human psyche tells us that stone is it's the signature of the dead. We don't put up wooden structures to over a grave. We don't do that. We just put stone up. So I'd say to people, anyone that's got ashes and urns or anything like that, that you've got to put it in, get a stone urn. Don't get a wooden one, because a lot of them are wooden. I'd say don't get a wooden one because you're putting in the wrong kind of material. You need a stone one. If ancient man was right, you need that stone to represent that the person's dead. So just sort of point that out. But yeah, Preseli bluestone, again, it's another one that is getting rarer and rarer to find because it's a limited supply. And in Wales now, they've stopped people going and picking it up off the ground. I got some. I was lucky enough to get some raw pieces of Preseli bluestone. But I'd say if you can get that, put that in your grave as well, because it's a healing stone. And ancient Britons had it in the coffins with them around Stonehenge, or the burial things. So just so anything else to add, Christine? I've been going on there, haven't I?
Oh no, I you know you have so much more knowledge than I do about it, but it's really hard for me to heal. I'm here. I'm having some issues. I don't know what's wrong with my phone at all. So I'm trying to listen to what you're saying. Um, no, that's interesting what you said about Stonehenge.
Oh yeah.
Mystery to me as well.
Well, you see, the thing, Stonehenge is it is a great warning that people read into things that just turn out to be total fantasy. It's they thought that it was this massive, and I've always said this about Stonehenge. They go on about it's this wonderful construction. Yeah, it is. And how the hell did they get the bluestones from Preseli? The Saracens, they're from the local area, but the Preseli bluestones. Now, if I had never thought of bringing it here, but you'll see Preseli bluestone if you Google it. Now, it's very, very heavy. It's harder than concrete. It's extremely heavy, and just a bit like that weighs you down. Now, it's a absolutely beautiful stone, but how did they get these big that weigh tons? How did ancient man get it to Salisbury to set up there? And they were there first before the Saracens. Sorry, they were there first. Now, another theory that's come out is that they didn't actually take them there at all, because strange enough, there's no sign or evidence of mining going on in Preseli. There doesn't seem to be any mining going on at all. So these stones fell as they were and were collected that way. But what they're saying now is when the Ice Age ended, which Britain was under huge amount of ice. Now, look in America, the Nevada desert and all that. That was all created by, not Nevada, what is it? I can't remember the name. We see all the ragged, beautiful place. The canyon, the Grand Canyon. That was all created by the Ice Age ending. The Grand Canyon. That's how powerful water is. Well, what do you reckon it was? It wasn't that they had to get the stones and carry them to where they were. When the Ice Age ended, the flow of water that the ice created, which would have been absolutely massive, carried these loose stones and just deposited them there, and they just picked them off the ground and used them. But there is evidence as well that in Wales, they did have precursors to Stonehenge. But the one that they see the earliest stone settles from is Scotland. And they know that ancient Britons from Scotland, used to travel miles to get to Stonehenge. So it's debatable, was it a Welsh idea or was it a Scottish idea? They can't work out. But they know that they haven't got bluestones in Wales anyway. In Scotland, it's only Wales. But I thought I'd say that anyway.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I read something here that if you England, some family traditions for a moonstone as a bride. Is that true?
What was that, Christine?
You can't hear me very well, huh?
I can hear you when you're talking to the mic. Go on.
Oh, okay. Oh, I just read something here that in some families in England they wear a moonstone when they for their wedding as a necklace. I don't know if that's something that you know.
A moonstone.
Yeah, moonstone. You can't hear me very well.
I can hear you. That they use it in a wedding or something, did you say?
Yeah, they wear it. They wear it or whatever.
No, I've never read that. I've heard you have to say it in Britain. Something borrowed, something new, something blue, isn't it? Something borrowed, something blue. Oh, what is it, people? Something borrowed, something blue. I've never heard of a moonstone being anything popular. I know it's like myrtle. They love myrtle in the bouquets as well. But there's no. I don't know of any stones. Does anyone ever heard of any stones traditionally being popular? See, they say that, don't they? They turn around and say, "Oh, in this country they have that, and we don't." I've never heard of it anyway. I've heard of pearls. Pearls are very popular.
Yeah,
very,
pearls,
very popular.
definitely pearls.
Here we are. Something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. In other words, I don't know whether you have that in America. Yeah, you have that in America. That's a British tradition. You've got to have something given to you. But I know pearls are very, very popular, but I've never heard of people wearing moonstones. There might be somewhere, but I've never heard of a tradition myself. Let's see. Anything else? Oh, here we are, Christine. You like this one. Do you know what that is? Have you ever seen one of them?
What is that?
A stone with a hole, a natural hole through it. That hasn't been drilled or made by man.
What is that?
That's a hagstone or a druid's egg.
Oh.
Now, they are very, especially sailors. If you know a sailor or someone in the Navy or someone that likes going to sea and boating, here we are, Paris. There's one for you that you'll like. Anyone that's on the waves, sailors, English sailors would give the hind leg for a hagstone like that, and they're also called druid's eggs. They protect from drowning. You won't drown if you have one. Yeah, it just washes up on the beaches and people pick them up. And that is a particularly good one. But also, why it's called a druid's egg, it's believed, and I've tried it, but it's never worked for me. If you look through it on a moonlit night, you can see the fairies and spirits from the other dimensions. But I've never seen it. But yeah, I love that druid's egg, or hagstone as they call them. I would have been banned years ago as a witch if it's been seen with one of them. Hey, what's this? Mine too big to fit in that, Anne. Look, you stop it. Just looking at the. Oh, good night, Hanks Tyson. Missed you saying good night. Sorry. Let's see, looking for anyone else. So yeah, this and oh God, here's another one. Tiger's eye.
Oh yeah.
Now, tiger's eye is a very good one, not for when you're dead, but for when you're like, whoop, God, what that doesn't do, tiger's eye. It does everything, and it's a beautiful stone. I love this is multi one. It's got the yellow, the blue, and the red. But I tell you now, the red one, oh, red tiger's eye is gorgeous. It just glows. It does. And there's, I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if I go up. There's the different colors.
It says it helps rid your mind, body of fear, anxiety, and self-doubt.
Yeah.
It drives you to harmony and balance and helps you make clear, conscious decisions. Tiger's eye. It gives you a motivational boost.
Now, the blue one that you see, that's heated to get it that color. But the red and the yellow, see, there's the red and the yellow. There's the blue.
That's very beautiful. And
it's beautiful. But tiger's eye is one of those ones. It attracts wealth as well and good luck. But that's loved by crystal lovers. Tiger's eye, they always have tiger's eye in their aim collection because that's a beautiful one. And there's one, oh wait, well, before I forget it, and this isn't a crystal, it's a metal. It's nickel. But this was found in, well, this wasn't found, but the similar one was found in Tutankhamun's tomb. Now, if you look at that, that is actually meteorite. That's nickel.
Oh, I've seen some documentaries on that.
Yeah, that's nickel
so fascinating.
From a meteorite. Now, that metal was found in Tutankhamun's tomb. And what it was shaped into a dagger. And they only found out recently that it was actually from a meteorite, because they were saying, what's this dagger he's got? And so they must have got a big chunk of it. And they didn't know that back then they'd have the technology to be able to make that into a dagger, but they did. But that's one meteorite. I'm going to get buried with that as well. I think I will, yeah. Lovely one.
I heard that's very expensive.
Yeah, that actually, this, what I love about this could be older than the Earth itself, because they know it's at least 4 billion years old. That's the youngest it can be. So the Earth is just over 5 billion years old, but that could have been going around the solar system before the Earth even formed. And that absolutely excites. So when I hold that, I think, my God, this is going back so far, or it will go back to at least when the Earth was just a ball of lava forming. It's absolutely fascinates me, that. Here we are. Hi, Crawford. I hope you're all right, sweetheart. Hope you're okay. Get better soon. Send you good thoughts anyway. All good thoughts to you. Now, anything else that you want to mention, Christine?
I said that turquoise is fascinating. It's considered a blue crystal and said to help heal mind, body, soul, good luck charm, help balance emotion, support spiritual grounding.
Beautiful. Now that's one of my birthstones, that turquoise. Turquoise and tanzanite are my birthstones. Now, turquoise, this is the thing now, the most expensive turquoise is oh God, I can't remember the name of it. Begins with a B. I can't remember. It's an American one. Sleeping Beauty turquoise. Now, Sleeping Beauty is the most expensive, and it's from America. And it's got no veins in it. It's pure blue. Beautiful blue. Very Sleeping Beauty turquoise, very expensive. But yeah, I prefer the turquoise with the veins in it. I just think it's prettier when it's got the veins in it for some reason. It's a beautiful one. And tanzanite, if I've got any tanzanite, here we are. I've got a few pieces of tanzanite. That's tanzanite. Now that's getting rare. That's another one that's getting rarer and rarer. Tanzanite. That's getting rare all the time. I think I've got a ring of it as well. But
I found something about the stones. That's why someone
Christine,
made me wear that in a wedding.
Talk into the mic when you're saying it.
Okay.
What did you say then?
Oh, I said I found something about the moonstone, and it says that it supports success and good fortune. So that's probably why someone would wear that at a wedding.
At a wedding, yeah. Because I say, but this one saying to people, when you talked about how I also got into crystals was, I think I've told people this before. I was doing a course on reflexology, and one of the courses available was crystal healing. And I wasn't into it. I thought, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing crystal healing. But when people were doing their exams, they needed people to volunteer to be worked on. So I thought, I'll do it. I said, all right. I said, you can do this crystal therapy on me. So this one was doing it, and I was just lying down, not thinking that it was happening. And suddenly it felt like my ears were growing bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, this wasn't me imagining it. I could feel it. And like my head was getting bigger. And afterwards I said, that was the most weirdest sensation. I said, I thought my ears were growing huge like Dumbo. And they said, that's your aura. It's pulling your aura out and cleansing your aura. And I thought, wow, that is interesting. But The other one that I always get the sensation of, in any doubt, is amethyst. If I pick up amethyst, it immediately, I just relax straight away. Amethyst is, and I think that's why amethyst is so popular. It just relaxes people right down.
Because it removes the mind of negative thoughts.
Yeah. Hey, well, Shastish. Oh, thank you for that. But yeah, I'm left-handed. Do I do? Yeah, do it the other way around. If you're left-handed, your right will be the one that takes in. So if you want peace, if you want harmony, whatever, right hand. If you want to repel something from you, you use your left way. It's the other way around if you're right-handed. So remember that. Let's see. Just look at it. Some of the, I thought that I was reading old ones. There we go. Let's see. And some. Oh, you're late again, Anne. Right. Yeah, right. And this is it. I'm being strict with them, Christine. Anna Cleves, that's it. You're in detention. You're in detention for 10 minutes. In detention. You do not arrive 10 minutes. Any late. You don't arrive late for Anne's classes or Anne's. You should be sitting there eagerly going, oh, hands on, hands on, hands on. Yeah, amethyst, that's saying, Nikki. Amethyst, isn't it, Christine? Amethyst is the go-to one that people all rave. It's got everything. It's beautiful. It's just the one that everyone goes towards.
It says it aids sleep and demystifies dreams. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that. I like the promote willpower and helps you make healthy choices. Amethyst,
Yeah.
It has so many big qualities. That's why it's so popular.
Yeah, I think that's the one. It's a
and
beautiful.
Beauty as well. The colors.
I'm just looking for some more that I can. Oh, here we go. Oh, Numbnite. Now, I haven't got in that. I'll have to get some Numbnite, but you don't see jewelry Numbnite. If anyone's into sorcery or witchcraft or anything like that, Numbnite is one to go. It's a beautiful one, Numbnite. It's also one that's gaining popularity now. Oh, the flashes of light that you get in are amazing, Numbnite. But it's at the moment you can only get like in shapes and things. You can't get in jewelry, and it would make beautiful jewelry. Argate. Yeah, I have actually. Blue lace one. Oh, isn't it beautiful? Crystal was asking about Argate. Some people say agate. Argate, I say, but yeah, I do. And I wouldn't have mentioned this, but you've got me memory going because I sure have picked some up with me Argate because I've got a lovely one of Argate which you won't see very often. Where is it? Tell me I brought it up because it's a beautiful one. It's the most weirdest looking Argate. But blue lace is up. Oh, and I'll mention that one in a minute. That one's an important one. Don't tell me I haven't brought it with me. I've took it out pairs. I saw myself doing it. I've got one, Christine, and it's called you guess it's beautiful. It's called Moon Argus. And the swine, I haven't brought it with me. Do you know what? I swore I put that because I was going to talk about the moon one. It's beautiful. It's such an unusual colour for Argus. It's a milky colour. But blue lace Argus is beautiful. Now, also, Crystal, when you're talking about blue stones, I've got a few blue ones here. The ones that, here we go. There we go. There's a couple of blue ones.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Now, absolutely gorgeous. Now, blue ones, calming. Help you keep calm. Relax you.
It's like very calming. Peaceful.
Yeah, blue will calm you down, keep you. But I'm going mad that I never got me. I had Argus. I did have Moon Argus, and this Moon Argus, I've never seen it again. I got it a few years back, and it's the most strange. It's milky. It's just so It's a strange grey, milky color. And when I first saw it, I thought, "Oh my god, I've never seen it," and it's beautiful. That
I'll just show. Oh, go ahead. I'll show this one while we're.
Yeah.
This is the Austrian crystal. I would. So pretty.
Austrian. Now that's man-made.
That's what it's so pretty. I wear it all the time.
Yeah,
That's my
that's a
favorite.
man-made. Did you know that's a man-made crystal, Christine?
Yes,
That's
yes, I do
yeah,
know that. I know that it's a
yeah.
man-made, but it's just so beautiful.
Oh, it is beautiful. Oh God, the man-made ones are good. That's man-made.
That's
That's
the one.
Swarovski. That's Swarovski. That's
That's the
man-made.
one. I
Beautiful,
love
aren't they?
that one. That one's gorgeous. You showed
Absolutely.
that one before.
Absolutely. Now this one, that is kyanite from the Himalayas. Now that again, a blue one, but that's a very spiritual stone,
That
kyanite.
is beautiful.
Think of the Tibetans and the monks and all that, and
Mm-hmm.
Buddhism. Absolutely beautiful one, kyanite. But you can get an orange kyanite and a black kyanite. And of course, you get black kyanite, that's going to be again a protection one, but that will not be the one that repels away. It will cleanse because it's not a shiny one. Remember, if it's shiny black, it's going to repel right away.
Oh,
If it's
interesting.
a dull black one, like we were talking about it before, weren't we? What was it? Why is my brain going? The Russian one. Oh God, I was talking about it before. The one from Russia where it's black and it's like a form of coal. That's another one. It's dull. It doesn't shine, so that will gently cleanse it. It doesn't sort of
Hmm.
smash it away.
Very nice.
But yeah, they're the ones. But yeah, but there's lots. Let's see. I'm gonna see if I can find any others. Let's see.
What about sapphires? It's another blue one. Stone of
Oh,
wisdom and royalty.
sapphires,
I
and
love
again
sapphires.
another beautiful one, sapphire. Uh, Now, let's see. I'm trying to think what one to talk about. I'll just look through. Ah, there we are. Now that's malachite.
Oh, that's very nice.
Now this is
There we go.
awarded
Oh, that's
malachite.
gorgeous.
Oh, it's beautiful malachite. I love it. Another one. It's very light. Now that's not all that expensive malachite, but you can get it dyed. Be careful. You can get dyed ones. But that now malachite. Be careful with that because you'll hear of people making tinctures or they'll put a crystal in water, then drink the water like an elixir. In other words, say that
Mm-hmm.
you put rose quartz in water, of course, clean rose quartz. What it's going to do is the benefits of the rose quartz is going to go into the water, they believe. So you drink it. Don't do it with that. Be careful what you do it with, and people have to be careful. If you do it with that, it's toxic.
Oh, is it?
It's got copper in it. That's what makes it the color it
Oh,
is. That's why it's green. Be very careful,
oh,
people. Don't think you can just stick anything into water and do it. You stick that in water, you're poisoning yourself because basically it's copper you're putting in, and the copper will come out of it.
oh.
So you have to be very careful. That shows always research. Don't just think, oh, I'll do this because that sounds good. Because not all of
Mm,
them are there. Oh
makes
yeah, and
sense.
angelite. Here we are. I've got it. That's a. Oh God, I'm getting confused now. Which one is it?
Oh, that's very beautiful.
That's celestite, if I remember rightly.
Oh,
That's angelite.
I love all
I'm
the
sure
blues.
that's angelite.
Beautiful. Oh,
That's
that's
beautiful.
gorgeous. That's a very
That's
calming color.
Yeah, it is. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
Mm,
But you can get some unusual ones that get popularity, but the Russian ones are all people are rushing for them because it's starting to die out now because there's not many of them. You only find them one place. But yet there's lots and lots of Shungite. That was it, Mart. I was saying that Shungite is one of the black stones that do it gently because it doesn't shine. It's not a shiny one. But the one to go, and I've forgotten to bring it with me, is is clear rock quartz, which can be horrifically expensive. Clear rock quartz. Now that's basically a do everything stone. That it will do absolutely everything because it's clear. It can be programmed to do anything rock quartz, but you can find it extra, especially if you want a big piece where it can be and one without any inclusions in it can be extremely expensive. I'm talking thousands and thousands of pounds for a big piece. Well, that's it. No, angelite isn't man-made. That's natural. That you have things like opalite. Now, I love opalite. That's opalite. But that's Rusky opalite, and so is that ring. Now
That's gorgeous. Wow,
that's
that
it.
glows.
It's basically a fake moonstone, basically, and that's what they are. Now they're man-made, but they are beautiful. And another one that's very popular, and I haven't brought it with me, is a bluestone. You can get bluestone and goldstone, blue sandstone and blue goldstone, and that's man-made. But the beautiful, because when you look at them, especially the blue one, it's like looking at millions of little stars glittering away, but it's totally man-made. It's not natural at all. But because something's man-made doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. That's the thing. Because don't forget what the Chinese used to do as well. Say that they never had something. Say that they didn't have money or anything. They'd just make they'd make a fake version of it. And as they'd say, when the person dies and goes over, it will become the real thing that they need. So you don't have to have us. Opalite is beautiful.
Yeah.
Opalite is absolute good. You know what? When you get it, and I say, if you can get it, one to put in your window, no sun catcher, you get opalite. I say totally man-made. You put that as a sun catcher, it's the rainbow of colours that come through it.
So
It's absolutely gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Some have a bright red burst in a fire opal. Those are gorgeous.
I used to buy a stone to put in my dog's water to stop her weeing, killing the grass. Oh yeah, I'll say some of them are very.
Oh, interesting.
Oh yeah, you get different things all the time. But anyway, got anything? We'll start winding up now, Christine. Anything else to say on it?
It's been so fascinating. That's it. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I love the subject of it doing. I say to people, oh, and another one that ancient man is not stone. There we are, silver. Silver was another one they adored.
Wonderful.
Gold, of course. They were obsessed with gold all over the world. The dead had to be buried with gold for some reason. So that's another one that was very popular. But that we know that was related to the sun. If you had gold, it was because they were sun worshippers, basically. And that's what they thought the gold as being. It made you out to be a god. If you had gold, you were made a god when you got out to the other side. That's the way they saw it. Silver was the moon. And so remember that gold charge up with the sun, silver charge up with the moon, because silver's dedicated to the moon. Gold is the masculine, silver is the feminine. That's the way they see it anyway. So that's ionized favorite witch's stone. Oh yeah, there's lots of witches ones around. But there's, I say, there's different ones. I'm just trying to think anything else I need to add to this. Better things. So don't forget the burial ones. I'd say are Canadian, Jade, and I've forgotten it. Canadian Jade. Why have I forgotten it? Canadian Jade and Amber are the three essentials. Anything else you can put in, just look for the qualities of it and put it in there and you'll be okay. And I say fascinating subject. I do find it fascinating the way ancient man all seem to go after the same kind of things. And the whole thing is when they always believed, I mean, the belief systems we have like Christianity and Muslimism, what am I saying? You know, all the different religions we've got anyway now. They're only a speck in time considering the length of time that man's been on the planet. And for the vast majority, what we do know is ancient man did not believe for the vast majority of the time that we just die and pop over in paradise. They believed it was a journey to go to. And also, a lot of them believed in reincarnation as well, that you'd come back at some point. So, fascinating subject. Oh, thank you for that, Nikki. So what I'll do is I'll wind it up now. We'll have to have another talk sometime on in the future.
Okay.
So it'll be absolutely fantastic. So thank you, Christine. It's been
Thank you
fascinating
so
having you
much.
join us
I'll
again.
see you next time.
Definitely. And to
Thank
everyone,
you.
thank you for joining me.
All
And
right.
so you get hold your crystals and enjoy them. So bye bye, me darlings.
Bye bye. Bye. Thank you so
Bye.
much.